Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Dick Walker, and this is my Saturday afternoon, evening presentation on the business model of ASEA Redox. So let's go ahead and get started. Just as way of introduction, I've been a physician for 35 years or so. I've been retired for a couple of years. I'm a full-time ASEA associate and business builder. My wife and I are at the triple diamond level, and we've had a wonderful experience with this business and a great experience with this product. What I'm going to talk about tonight is how successful this business model can be for you in creating an extra source of income. And I speak from experience because within less than 2 years of doing this business, I was making a six-figure income and was looking at early retirement because of that. So let's get into this and show you what can happen for you guys. So the first question to ask yourself is what's in it for me? What's in it for you? Well, what do you want and how much do you want? Because this is all about creating an extra source of income at the same time that you improve your health and the health of those around you, because it's an incredible breakthrough health and wellness product. One of a kind, nobody else has it. And we'll talk a little bit about that towards the end, but this is primarily about the business possibilities here using this business model. So you can generate a lot of residual income. That's the kind of income that you don't have to earn day after day after day, but you do the work once and you earn it forever. And in fact, I've got part of my income was generated in the very first weeks and months of starting this business. So what do you want? What are you looking for? Everybody pretty much starts part-time, morphs into full-time if that's what you want. I like to ask people, what's your breakaway income? And by that, I mean, what's it going to take for you to be able to make the decision about whether you want to continue doing what you like, and that's fine if you love it, or do you want to switch over and be full-time sharing this business model and this product. So that's what I mean by breakaway income. Jot it down. What's it going to be? What's it going to take if that's what you want to do? And these are really all very possible. If you're personally committed to embrace a system that we have in place to guide you on that journey, and if you're personally committed to invest a bit of time, not a lot of time, but a bit of time, some energy, and a lot of focus when you're doing that, and some financial resources, because you need to invest a little bit in this to get started. You need some products to get started. So this is an entrepreneur business model. This isn't a 9 to 5, so much an hour, weekly sort of slave labor endeavor. This is an entrepreneur model. You will develop and own and control your own ASEA Redox business if you join this company. And you'll be under the umbrella of our group, and you'll have the access to all of the resources that we've developed over the years to help you grow a business. So I'm going to start, since we're talking about business and making money, I'm going to start by showing you the money. What's possible? How much can you earn with this business model? And we're going to start by showing you ASEA's updated income disclosure statement. Now, this is something that they had to file with the financial authorities as a business here in the United States. So these are absolutely truthful figures. And what they are is they're the ranges and the averages for people who are, these are actual numbers, people who are in ASEA who have reached these different ranks. And these ranks are just what we call our different levels of achievement. We're not going to go over how you get to those different levels, but we can when somebody gets a closer look. But once you reach these different levels, this is on average what you can make in the middle column. And the ranges can be quite wide, and that's just because of the nature of the compensation plan. But you can see that these average incomes can be pretty substantial. And I'm going to show you next how quickly you can reach some of these income levels. Now, I shortened it up. I could show you in weeks and months and that sort of thing. But what I did is took out a few milestone incomes and then went into the data and assigned the amount of time that it took on average for real ASEA associates to reach these different levels of income. But if you want to make an extra $1,000 a month, on average, it's taken 2 months, and they're making $1,000 a month, part-time, of course. You want to make a couple $1,000s a month, well, that's going to take you on average about 4 months. $6,000 a month, that's going to take you on average 9 months to get to that level. And by the time you get up to the 6,000 and above monthly income, a good percentage of that income is residual. So you're not having to hustle and re-earn that every month because you've put in place a business model that is generating that residual cash flow based on prior activity. So it's a pretty darn good compensation plan. And again, I want to emphasize these are real numbers. These aren't projections. These are real numbers based on the first 8 years of ASEA's business model. So when you build this sort of business, you are really sitting on top of a local or regional or even global network of people, because as you build your marketing network underneath the umbrella of ASEA and our organization, you will start to spread beyond your little local neighborhood. And depending on who you know and who comes into your business and who they know, you can literally spread across the globe, even though you may not know anybody very far outside of your neighborhood. And this growth just keeps on going geometrically. We build by multiplication, not by addition, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But it's a very powerful way over a period of time to build a very substantial source of residual income, if that's what you want to do. If you just want to try some of the products and be a product user and maybe talk to a couple of people, then this presentation may not be speaking to you directly, but it's at least going to show you what's possible, because as you reach out and talk to other people, you are going to run into people who want to make money in this business. Yes, they want to help people, but they also want to be compensated for it. So how is it possible that we can generate those kinds of incomes in those time periods? Because that's pretty fast to generate that kind of an income, especially when you realize that you don't really need any specialty training. You can start earning money in the very first week in this business, and there's no prerequisites or courses that you have to take. Yes, we will train you and you have to spend a little time, but it's really on-the-job training. So this business model uses leverage, and I'm going to show you an example of that here in a minute, but it creates what we call reproductive residual income. Residual income is that kind of income that once you've made the transaction, you're going to earn on it continually. And I've got people who joined my organization, started using this product in the first month or two of my business 7.5 years ago, and they're still doing that, and I'm still earning some residual income from that effort. But this company, the timing in the marketplace, the monopoly that we have on this product, and the major market trends that this product is tapping into, not just here in the United States, but across the world, is really allowing us to create what I call legacy incomes. These are incomes that you're going to pass down to your family, or if you choose to, sell it to someone else at the point at which you decide to retire from your ASEA business. This is a real business, and you can grow it slowly or you can grow it quickly. Just depends on what you want to do. And when I talk about leverage, here's what I mean. I mean, there's some very big people in business who are going to tell you that if you really want to earn financial freedom, you've got to use leverage. And the typical example is, if you wanted your organization to sell $1 million a month of ASEA, you've got a couple of different choices. You could go out and recruit 100 or 200 people that are each doing $5,000 to $10,000 a month. And that's a lot of work, because that's a lot of people. And you've got to supervise all those people. Or you can go out and find 10 leaders who can each build their own teams and each account for their fair share of those monthly transactions and sales. And you're going to have the same result, but you're going to have a much better lifestyle. And that's really the model that we help you to do. It's not about bringing in thousands of people yourself. It's about finding the right people who can be leaders in your organization and build groups under your umbrella. So let's take a look at that. Now, I'm going to show you how we duplicate in this business, how we grow this business, how we do geometric growth. And I'm also going to put some numbers to this. Now, these are theoretical numbers. These are what can happen if you build this model, but they actually jive pretty well with the actual numbers that I just showed you. So just keep in mind that there's no promise here, but this is how we generate income. So let's say you decided to build one of these businesses. And let's say in the first month you went out with the help of the team and the systems that we use, and you found 4 people who wanted to do the same thing. They wanted to try the product, they want to build a business, they want to create an income source, starting part-time, a little bit at a time, over time, to build that business. So in the first month or the first cycle, you bring in 4 people who want to do that. You might have to talk to 8 to find the 4, or 10 to find the 4, but you find 4 people who join your organization, and they agree to go out and find 4 people of their own in that next monthly cycle, and you agree to add 3 more, and PS means personally sponsored. So you personally sponsored the first 4 and those 3 in that second cycle. And now in the next cycle, each of those 16 people go out and sponsor 4, add a couple more personally sponsored. You add 2 more personally sponsored. And in the 4th month or the 4th cycle of this business model, this theoretical multiplication model, duplication model, geometric growth model, you add another couple of personally sponsored in each of those months 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you add up the math, you've only sponsored 11 people. The first ones in the first 4, the pictures, 3 more in that second month, 2 more in the third month, and another 2 in the 4th month. But look at the leverage here already, because even though you only sponsored 11, you've got 256 people in your organization who are out there on a daily basis talking to other people about this product and about this business model. So let's put some figures to this theoretical model. And let's just say that in the first month, each person invests in their business the equivalent of 150 commissionable volume pack. That would be, for an example, 1 case of the ASEA drink and a couple of tubes of Renew 28. Now you could do more, and I'll show you what happens when you do more, but let's just keep it at 150 CV. And let's say that each person also agrees to enroll in the auto-ship program for 150 CV a month. And again, that could be the same thing, a case of ASEA, a couple tubes of Renew, or it could be some of their nutritional products, whatever. But they agree that they're going to work on their health plan with $150 worth of ASEA health products a month. So let's look and see what happens with the money. So in month 1, you would actually earn $200. You would have spent a little bit more than that to get your initial pack, but you would have earned $200, and you would be at about half of the break-even point, and you would be what we call a director. You would earn fast start bonus, team commissions, and the director bonus. Now, let's say in the second month, let's look at what's happening here. So your fast start bonus is a little less because you sponsored 3 instead of 4. Your team commission is going up, and your total income for that second month is $240. So now you've broken even. You've gotten back your return on investment, and you're at break-even point 2 months into this business. That's almost unheard of to do that so quickly in any kind of business, especially on an investment of 150 and then 150 a month. Your rank would be about a D300. In month 3, gets even better, because remember, you broke even after month 2. So now you're starting to make some money, almost $700 in month 3. You end up being a D700. So let's take 1 more month working this model, and let's look at what things look like here. Your fast start bonus is only 60 because you're at this point only personally sponsoring a couple of months. Team commission is up to 25.50. The question marks are because you would probably be in what we call the EMP pool, but it's difficult to predict exactly how much money you make. That's a profit sharing pool based on a pool of money that comes into ASEA from all over the world, and you can earn a tiny percentage of that. So ASEA brings you in as not just a commission basis, but as a profit sharing individual associate as early as month 4. That's pretty incredible. And you would be a gold executive. So here you sponsored 11 people, and in month 4, you're making about $2,600, and you've not only broke even, but you're significantly profitable already. But let's take a look and see what happens if we do this same model, but instead of starting with an initial investment of 150 CV, we start with an initial investment of 400 CV. For example, that might be 4 cases of ASEA, or 2 cases of ASEA and 2 cases of Renew, or any combination of product that ends up being 400 CV. But then our monthly ends up being the same as it was in the other model. So here it would be, for example, a case of ASEA, a couple tubes of Renew on an ongoing monthly basis. Now, you don't even have to consume that, although I would strongly encourage that you do. You can go out and resell that and make a little extra money that way as well. What happens at the end of the first month? Well, you're actually right at about break-even point at the end of the first month. Pretty darn good for this kind of a business model. And you're a director. And in month 2, you've already earned a little over $500. So you haven't just broke even by the end of month 2, but you're actually making some money and you're a D700. So things are happening more quickly because the initial investment is a bit higher. And quite frankly, most people need more than 150 CV in products if they really want to kickstart their health with this technology. So let's look at what happens in cycle 3, month 3. Well, your income is already almost $1,600 a month. You're definitely profitable at this point in time, and the EMP pool has definitely kicked in, and that could be as much as half again that total of $1,600. And you're a silver executive. Well, what happens in month 4? Wow, this leverage is really kicking in, because in month 4, your income is almost $6,000 a month. You'd be a gold distributor. No, you'd be a diamond distributor, and you're on your way to much greater incomes. So in this model, when you reach diamond, you're not making what the average diamond made in the real world, which was about $16,000 a month. But as you continue to build that organization, you will get there, and you will probably get there much faster than average if you pursue this model as it's written. So this is a very good way to use leverage and reproducible residual income to create an incredible income. And what I want you to take home from this slide is that if you put a little bit more in the beginning, you can make a significant amount of money much more quickly. So this is not really primarily a sales business. You know, what you do when you're building teams of people is that everybody consumes a little bit. That's the auto ship part of it, 150 a month. Everybody sells a little bit, wholesale, retail, preferred customers. But the real opportunity here to create wealth and to create financial freedom is to sponsor other like-minded people who want to do the same thing you want to do, create an extra source of income that's going to give them eventually walk-away income, and create the dream of your dreams, create your financial future and your health future through these products and through this business model. Now, if you're a health professional, you can do a lot of sales through your office, retail, wholesale, preferred customers, whatever, and also engage in enrolling other medical professionals and other folks, even some of your clients, and start to build not just a commission sales business, but build a significant group, just like we showed you in the prior model. So the other thing that a lot of people think about these kinds of businesses is that you've got to sponsor hundreds of people to get the kind of money that we're talking about, $16,000 a month. In a lot of companies that use similar models, you would have to enroll a lot of people. But in this model, in the real world of real results, the average person who got to that diamond level in 22 months recruited somewhere between 40 and 50 people during that 22 months. So yes, it was more than 4, but certainly it was spread out over time. But the important thing for all of these people at this level was they started recruiting early. They got on it, and they started bringing people in the first several months of their business. So the key to success in this business is to use an established system, which we have. It's been developed, it works, we know that. We're not still trying something out. Go out and sponsor 4 to 6 people as soon as you can. Find some people who just want to use the products and enroll them as preferred customers. And now you've created some momentum in your business. And now you've got that first 2 cycles done, because you recruited your first 4 and you added a couple more in that second month. So go out and find those first 4 to 6 people, and with the help of the system, bring them into your group. And what you're going to do is sift and sort for leaders that are going to help you build a very large local, regional, national, international team. And at Diamond, all sorts of extra benefits also start to come your way. Extra pools of profit sharing, trips around the world, various really cool benefits that kick in at that diamond level. So just to remind you how money is generated in this business model, It's people consuming products and recommending that other people consume the products. It's really as simple as that. And when you do that, then the company sends you a check. It's really that simple. People consuming, people recommending, other people consuming, building a network, and developing reproductive residuals, because people, when they get on this product, generally stay on it for a substantial period of time because it's so life-changing. And everybody that starts, we recommend a 90 to 120-day trial period, just because it often takes that long for people to notice a difference. But how many people have taken vitamin supplements for years and never really noticed a difference, but they took them because they knew it was good for them? Well, this is definitely good for you, but you know, most people do actually notice a positive change in their health within 90 to 120 days. About 50% of people will notice it in the first 30 days. Now, we do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's not quite long enough for most people to see and experience, but at least it's a fail-safe if people just simply decide that they've made a bad decision and they want to back out. So there is that comforting thing for somebody who may have a little residual doubt. But how are these residuals generated that we talked about? Well, like I said, product satisfaction with this is really high, and your network, your umbrella over these networks is going to really grow the number of people, which grows the residual sales volume, which then grows your team commissions. Team commissions top out at $40,000 a month. The company can't pay out more than that. It would be illegal for them to pay on unlimited depth, but 40 grand a month is pretty good. I don't think there's too many of you who would complain too much about $40,000 a month. And people really do stay on these products long enough to generate those kinds of residuals. And then there's additional performance bonus pools like the EMP pool and the Diamond pool. This company guarantees that it will pay out 50 plus a little bit of percent of all the sales revenue that they take in. So it's a very generous company. The other 50% is retained for building new facilities, for expanding the network, and to set a little bit of aside for a rainy day. But 50% is a very doable and generous payout. What are the trends that play to ASEA's advantage in this marketplace? Well, we've got an aging population. In this country, you call them baby boomers, but around the world, the population is aging. And this is a very good anti-aging supplement. The other thing that comes with age is more disease. And this product, although we don't claim that it cures, heals, or treats anything, it does give people a real leg up on having their body deal with a variety of health challenges, which become much more common as we get older. There's also an increasing awareness that instead of just sitting around and doing nothing and waiting to get sick as we get older, that it's a really good idea to be actively involved in preventing those sorts of things, because getting sick is not a good thing either physically, emotionally, or financially. So we're replacing that sick model, and more people are understanding that they've got to be proactive about their health. They've got to be accountable. And certainly in this country, cost and access is becoming a problem to our healthcare system. And literally one major illness can bankrupt a family, and then you're in real trouble. So prevention and a alternative way of helping your body to deal with problems can be very beneficial to everyone. Complementary and alternative medicine is becoming much more popular. And when it comes to our business model, the same baby boomers who are aging are also retiring, and many of them do not have enough money to retire and live the kind of life that they become used to. And in the younger generation, there's a lot of people, yes, we have nearly full employment in this country, but a lot of people are not earning up to their full potential because the jobs just aren't paying what they need to pay. And this is a great way to supplement one of those kinds of jobs and eventually break away from that and earn what you're worth. So redox signaling is the science behind this wonderful product that we have. Quite frankly, it's the greatest scientific breakthrough of our lifetime. It's bigger than penicillin. It's bigger even than DNA, but they also work together synergistically. So what does this technology do? What does this product do? Well, it maximizes your cell's ability to heal. Regardless of the challenge, it offers huge rewards for our health because it addresses the root cause of illness at the cellular level. So the drug companies have been making blockbuster profits for years on drugs that address one particular problem. This technology addresses a number of different problems at the foundational level of cellular health and restoration. It's quite incredible. We're not going to talk in detail about it here, but this was a true breakthrough. It took over 20 years, millions of dollars of money was spent on scientific research. It's heavily patented. It's a proprietary product. Nobody else has it. Nobody else knows how to make it. We have all the patents, and we are the only one in the world that can make this product. It was felt to be impossible by most of the world's scientists, and some of them still are scratching their head and wondering how this company was able to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside the body. Quite frankly, it's amazing that they were able to do this. Quite frankly, they put a lot into it, and they are the only company that stuck with this research until they finally figured it out. There were a number of other big biotech companies that were trying to do this and failed back in the early 2000s. So this blue bottle, ASEA Redox Cell Signaling Supplement, is the world's first and only redox signaling supplement. Now, we're not going to get into what redox signaling is all about, but it's the language of our cells. It's the way our cells communicate. And a few years after we originated the drink in 2010, the company came out with a topical product for skincare called Renew 28. It revitalizes and renews and helps your body to heal and renew your skin. It makes your skin look much younger by making it much healthier, not covering up things, but making your skin like it was 15, 20, 30 years ago. This is indeed a transformative technology. And because of that, it has huge potential. It's already changing many of the ways that we address health, wellness, and sickness, especially amongst those who are becoming aware of the power of this technology. And Gary Samuelson, who's become a pretty good friend of mine, he was really responsible for the final work on this technology. And he says that redox is the single greatest health science breakthrough of our lifetime. This technology has the potential to spearhead the greatest advances of health we have ever seen. And if anything, that's an understatement. This is a phenomenal technology, and hardly anybody even knows about it. Now, from a business standpoint, there is huge potential here. In the United States, these three industry areas, health and wellness, beauty and anti-aging, and athletic performance, account for over $4 trillion in annual sales in the US, and growing significantly, I might say, year over year. And ASEA is the most unique and advanced product in all three of these industries. It is the newest and the most efficacious technology in all three of those. So the timing in the marketplace with all those megatrends is really incredible, but the timing in the company also is pretty incredible. At the end of 2018, we'd done 600 million in total cumulative sales. We'll probably add a couple hundred million to that this year. Last year alone, we had 123 million. So this is a financially secure company, debt-free. There's no doubt that we're going to be successful in the long run because we've already made it to that point where we don't have to worry. Growth doubled in 2018. It went from yearly growth of about mid-20s all the way up to 53%. And this coming year, when we close out 2019, the company is saying they think it will be even better than that. We think we'll exceed 200 million this year. And quite frankly, the company is projecting that we will be at $500 to $1 billion within the next 4 to 5 or 6 years. Why? Because our growth is accelerating like crazy around the world, but also right here in North America. So we're positioned in front of all those three demand centers that we talked about a couple slides ago. Health and wellness, athletic performance, anti-aging. We're positioned in front of those mega trends: an aging population, a realization that healthcare costs too much, a realization that that prevention and proactive measures are important. And the timing right now is huge because we're going through a global expansion. We just added the Philippines and Malaysia to the countries that we can build businesses in. But our main engine of growth, quite frankly, is still right here in North America. We have a global presence. We have a monopoly on this technology, nobody else can make it. We're in 35 countries. We have a growth plan to take us to 100 in the next 5 to 10 years. In the direct sales industry, we've advanced from 99th to 75th in the last year and a half or so. All of our manufacturing is done here in the USA to guarantee the integrity of the product, and we ship to 18 global distribution centers. And our business model, our business IT is compatible already in 17 different languages. So we have a very thriving, very rapidly growing company that's going through an accelerated growth phase, which makes this the perfect time to join a company with a business model like we have. But we're building a legacy business. We're not a flash in the pan, be here today, gone tomorrow. This company will be here 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. And when you pass this down to your heirs, they will be making that reproductive residual income for years to come. And that's something that's very difficult to accomplish in any other kind of business. This is our corporate headquarters. It went up a couple of years ago. It still stands about only half occupied because the company knows that they're going to need to add staff as they go through this growth phase. They even have options on the property next door to build another building. And the production facility is just down the road. That's what that looks like. On the right-hand side, you can see a typical clean room biotech company where this product is manufactured. A very, very efficient operation. And we can double production in 90 days. So you'll never have back orders or have any problems getting this product because the company can ramp up production and add to it very quickly. Our facility is FDA approved, NSF certified, and we use a nationally recognized molecular analysis laboratory, Bioagilitics, to do our quality control. And they sample statistically batches of ASEA, and they guarantee the consumer that every bottle of ASEA and every tube of Renew does indeed contain redox signaling molecules in a biologically active form. Now, I told you I wouldn't do much about the products, but I do want those of you who haven't watched the product presentation to understand that this is very firmly based in science. And this was a study that was done a year and a half or 2 years ago that showed in a group of people, average age 35, that when they drank 8 ounces of ASEA a day, it affected their genetic signaling pathways. Now, it's important to understand that the genes that we're looking at here are not the genes that determine your hair color or your eye color, not your inheritance genes, and not the genes that do specific things in your cell. These are the genes that control information. These are the signaling pathway genes. So they have a much bigger influence over the access of our cells to the information in our DNA because they control that access. They're a little like the librarian at the city library. And so what we found was that by drinking ASEA, it improved many of these signaling pathway genes, but it improved 3 of them in a very significant way. And these 3 affect millions of people. And they're areas like the immune system and cardiovascular system and hormones and you name it. Very, very big changes and improvements in information flow from our genes, which means big improvements in our health. And we also have a study that showed that it helps to burn fatty acids and it burns abdominal fat first, which is really pretty cool. But the science of that study also showed that in addition to helping our body burn fat, and for that reason, it helps athletes perform better because fat is a high octane fuel. But it also lowers cholesterol, which is a big problem in our society, and it lowers it naturally. You don't have to take any of the drugs that people sometimes react to. Many people can't take the most common drugs that are used for that, but everybody can take ASEA. It's safe, it's natural, it's native to the body, and nobody can have a toxic reaction to this product. So this is wonderful news for everybody, but especially for those who have cholesterol issues and don't want to or can't take the conventional medical treatments. And even for people with normal cholesterol, this can vastly improve the health of your cardiovascular system. So at this point, those of you who really haven't seen much of the product may still be wondering, what the heck is it? So let me just throw in a couple of more things here because I want you to understand how unique this is. And when I say we have no competition, we have no competition, because this is not a vitamin or a mineral or an antioxidant or a juice. We have no product in the world, anywhere in the world, that has any similarity to what we have. We are not a nutritional supplement. We are a redox signaling supplement, and that's what's in our bottle. Redox signaling molecules. It has no traditional nutritional value, but what it has goes way beyond nutrients as ingredients for improving your health. And because of that, it impacts your health at a depth that many of you will not ever appreciate until you've experienced it. This is an incredible way to supercharge your health, to turn back the clock on aging. We can't turn back your birthdays, but we can turn back your body in a very significant way. And those sorts of changes start to happen in 3 or 4 months. So this, however, isn't a product just for the elderly, although the elderly oftentimes, and elderly, I'm talking over 50 here, will benefit probably the most, because what we do know is that even though every cell in our body makes these molecules, they're natural to the body. And what we have is a molecule that's identical to that, so it's native. And as you age, your body produces fewer and fewer and fewer of these redox signaling molecules. So by the time you hit middle age, you're really already very far behind, and your body starts to show it by slowing down, by not healing, not recovering, not doing what it should do to keep you healthy. But I've seen this product help infants. I've seen it help adolescents. My 3-year-old grandson has benefited from this significantly with some respiratory problems. My adult children have had great benefits. My 94-year-old mother had some wonderful benefits with her memory, with her ability to move around and take care of herself, and even with her eyesight. And both my wife and I have had incredible benefits. Again, we don't claim to cure, heal, or treat anything, but I had a very common problem. It was high blood pressure. It was pretty bad high blood pressure. I had to take 4 different kinds of medicines at maximal doses to keep it under control. But after I'd been on ASEA for 4 years, I was off of all those medications. I didn't really change anything else in my life. And I got 4 years older, but also 4 years healthier. So that's pretty darn incredible. So it isn't just for the elderly, but the elderly have a particular need to supplement with these because their body simply makes very few redox molecules after age 50 or 60. Why is ASEA so successful? Well, one of the reasons that these products get people's attention and gratitude quickly. It's not something you have to wait a year or two before you notice a difference. Generally, about 50% of people notice a significant change in the first 30 days, and about 90+% notice something in 90 to 120 days. And the business model makes it possible to create incomes beyond your expectation. I already showed you that. I mean, to be able to earn a 6-figure income in less than 2 years on a consistent residual basis, that's almost unheard of, and for it to be legal. It's a very simple business plan, and initially it's based simply on a new person making some introductions and referrals to the team, to the process that we have to get people up to speed on this. It does not require any experience or special training, because you're going to use the experts and the leaders that are already here using this system. It's fun. It's exciting to be able to create networks and help people. I'll tell you, as a hospital-based physician, I can say that I probably got a thank you note maybe a dozen times in a 38-year career. I get thank yous and attaboys all the time from people taking ASEA, on the phone, on the internet, cards. It's amazing how grateful people are for this. And you know what that means? They're going to stay on the product, and they're going to stay on the product a long time because it's helping them. And the humanitarian possibilities here are incredible. ASEA gives back routinely in a number of different ways in projects all over the world. ASEA is a very generous, giving back sort of company. So I'm going to close out this by showing you a couple of before and after pictures. So for those of you who haven't seen a product presentation, you can get a little bit of an idea about how impactful these products are. Now I'm showing you results on the skin because I can't really show you inside the body. And we're not allowed to claim results for illnesses or show you lab results or anything of that nature. But these pictures really speak louder than words, because most of these are results that have been obtained in just a month or two, sometimes even less. And you can really see the reduction in wrinkling in that person's neck. It's really incredible. She's a woman that I know over in Norway. Same on the right. I mean, look at how much healthier, younger, vibrant that woman's skin looks in the bottom picture over there on the right-hand side. Same thing here, a little less dramatic, but certainly you can see the difference here. Here you've got some age spots that are disappearing. The scar on the tip of that young woman's nose is a very, very interesting situation here, because she had a minor injury there 2.5, 3 years ago, and as it healed, she formed a scar. That's pretty normal, right? It's also pretty normal that over the ensuing years and months that she keeps renewing that scar, because our skin turns over every month or two, and it forms new skin cells and it forms new scar cells. That's just the way it is, right? I mean, that's natural, right? Well, then what happened in the lower picture? Because within a few weeks of using ASEA Redox, the scar is gone. So what happened here is that what was obviously going on in the original picture, and what usually goes on, is that the cells in that area, the signal for those cells became stuck on making scar tissue, and they just kept doing it, and they would have kept doing it for the rest of her life, except when we changed the signal by supplying some extra redox signaling molecules, and boom, scar's gone. It will not come back. The signal's changed and it will not come back. Here's a very typical skin issue for young adults, both male and female. This gentleman had suffered with that. He was worried that he was going to have a lifetime of scars from this. This is a 6-month result, but 6 months of drinking and applying redox signaling molecules to his face, and that problem is gone. And there's no scarring, and it will stay gone especially as long as he stays on these molecules. So that is an incredible result, and way better than he would get with medication. Here we have an anti-aging group of pictures. Let's call her Rosie, and she was 84 years old. She had a bunch of age-related complaints: fatigue, soreness, poor sleep, a bunch of things. She just didn't feel good. You can look at her and tell that she doesn't feel too good. But her doctor, instead of starting her on a bunch of prescriptions to control those symptoms, he said, let's have you drink some ASEA every day, and let's have you use this Renew 28 on your skin. In 7 weeks, you can already see a significant change in her skin. And over the ensuing years, all of those symptoms resolved. You can just see that she's a much happier person, much healthier person, and physiologically, I would say, a much younger person. And not only does she look better, but she feels incredible. There is nothing else on the face of the planet that will do that for somebody. And when I say we've got huge potential because of what we can do for people, and in addition to helping people overcome health challenges and injuries and that sort of thing, it also slows down the aging process. Bingo, we have essentially the fountain of youth. So we are in 35 countries. That's the dark blue area. We will be in 100 countries, within the next 10 years or so. Do you want to be part of that expansion? Because if you do, you can earn an incredible residual income. Starting part-time, giving your network time to fill up the weeks and months of residual volume, and you will have a very handsome residual income. So what do we offer you as an entrepreneur? Training at all levels to enhance your effectiveness and income. Most of that's online, or a little bit of it is in person, but it's all learn as you go, because we supply you with a mentor, an experienced team member to be by your side, helping you to build this business. And we strongly recommend that you take advantage of that. There are personal growth opportunities to enhance your leadership skills and abilities. This is a risk-free opportunity, because we have a proven system that works if you work the system. And that possibility for income you've just seen, it's incredible. I don't know of anything else out there. When I started this business, I was already working 60 to 70 hours a week at the hospital. I didn't have any spare time, but I did just what we recommend you do. Reach out, make some introductions, make some referrals, pass those new people on to the team so we can show them what we have, and they can decide if they want to play with us or not. And really play it is, because this is fun. And the company sends you on some incredible vacations, and it's not that hard to earn those pennies. The cost of entry in this is very minimal. It's $40 to enroll, and after that, it just depends on how much product you want to get. but it is quite minimal compared to any other business that I've been doing. I've started half a dozen medical clinics in my career to the tune of about $500,000 a piece to get them up and going and staffed before they ever made any money. Not only was I profitable in the first month or so in this business, but I was making six figures in less than 2 years. And I was still working, at least 40 to 50 hours a week at the hospital because I kind of enjoyed emergency medicine still at that time. And it took a while for me to convince myself that I wanted to retire from that. But after a while, I finally did because my time spent here is really helping more people than I ever could at the hospital. And I'll tell you, honest to God, in the last 7+ years, I've helped more people in a more profound way with ASEA than I did in that whole 38-year career in the hospital, because I can help people all the way across the world simply by recommending that they try this product. I don't have to see them personally. I don't have to examine them. I just simply have to look them in the eye on this computer and say, I do believe this could help you, but you're going to need to try it to find out. So I invite you to join us, join this team. We are going places. This company is going places, and you couldn't ask for a better way to become an entrepreneur and create that income that can set you free if that's what you want. So I'm going to stop the share here, stop the recording.